Please tune in to the MLB Report every Monday morning for the latest in Major League Baseball from Codey Emerson and Paul Tipton. Of course, our coverage will increase as the postseason gets near. We'll have one nearly every single day.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome back to the Central Indiana Sports Report, Major League Baseball fans, to the MLB Report with Codey Emerson and Paul Tipton. Those are going to be the 12 teams in the playoffs. Am I wrong? The 12 teams currently in are going to be the 12. Am I wrong?
I'm not going to completely agree because I think there's a couple. I think the AL West isn't completely done. The Mariners,
they're both making the postseason, right?
There's a couple that are still to be decided. I'm still holding out hope that until the end of the season, I'm always cheering against the Mets, but you know.
Well, that's why I'm a little sour here, Cody, is because I think the Reds are probably done.
Oh, this is the headline. You have given up on the Reds.
I wouldn't say given up is the right word. I'm very doubtful of the Reds. How about that?
Oh.
We talked about that schedule. It hasn't done the Reds really any favors.
Well, if they'd started better against a poorer schedule, now are good enough to be in the playoffs, but their record is not going to allow them to be in the playoffs, I believe. I say this by saying that once we get to October, we will be podcasting pretty much every night about Major League Baseball. Either it'll be Cody and Paul. It'll be one of them. We'll have Will sometimes. Every single night we'll be talking about the playoffs once they get here.
Only a month left in the regular season. Oh, my gosh.
I would like to put one team as a distinct possibility of breaking into the playoffs. The Texas Rangers.
The worst chance any team currently in a playoff position has of making the playoffs is 87%. So we look like we're pretty solid, but I like your Rangers. Let's kind of focus on the Rangers here and see if we can get something interesting here with the rest of the regular season. Besides, of course, the individual championships, batting crowns, home run titles, those things will still be decided. But as far as the team race, maybe Rangers and Reds.
The Rangers have the talent to do it. That's the thing, and they've done it before.
Yes, we've been saying it all year.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not, and of course they've got the manager who's done it at the highest level. I'm not going to completely disregard the Rangers. I will say, I think it was, did I see, I think Nathan Eovaldi, just a couple days ago on their general manager, Chris Young, did announce that he is going to miss the rest of the year due to a rotator cuff strain. So and he's been one of their top pitchers all year. They're going to have to find a way around that. And DeGrom has still been, I've been impressed with Jacob DeGrom. No one should be shocked that Jacob DeGrom is pitching well when he's healthy. But the Rangers can probably do it. They're probably going to have to do it on the offensive end. And they're capable of doing it. I guess if the Rangers snuck in, they're a fun team. I like Bruce Bochy.
Yeah.
I like Corey Seager. I like a lot of the people on that team.
Yeah, big series with the Astros this weekend for the Rangers, Paul.
Yes.
After they visit the desert for 3 starting today.
Correct.
I came into this podcast a little depressed about the Reds and what's been going on lately. Doesn't look like they're going to be a postseason team. That being said, they play the Blue Jays at home this Monday. So we will look forward to that. We will have a podcast next weekend to talk about that. But this is their final chance. This week has to be a good week for the Reds.
Do or die week.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. It's especially when you're going to get those 3 against the Mets. Low Mets season never dies. It's just when it happens. I would love it if it happens.
It's happened every year since 1986, right?
Absolutely. And usually it's in catastrophic fashion. So, but yeah, the Reds have got to, yeah, you're right. Greg, this is their last chance. They're holding on. They have a chance to right the ship. they've been a game. Last time we recorded, I think they're on 4 back. You're not completely out of it when you've got 4. You're
No,
only
it
4
just
back.
means you have to play almost perfectly the rest of the
Absolutely.
month. That's
and helps when, you got a 3-game series against the team that you're right behind. So a sweep would be massive. If you even take 2 out of 3, start to put some pressure on the Mets late. We know how the Mets handle pressure late in the season. They've got a chance, like we've said.
Real fast before we move to some individual things, let's talk about the Yankees. Paul's Yankees have been playing much better. Any chance they catch the Blue Jays, Paul?
I would say less than 1%. No, not hopeful at all. No. They win 7 games against the Nationals and the Chicago White Sox, and then everybody gets excited. But they're playing the Tigers, the Astros, and sadly, they have to play the Red Sox again. So, no. The Yankees should be happy with being a wild card.
I saw this the other day. I think it was right after they concluded right after the Red Sox and Yankees played their last series, just I think 2 weeks ago, maybe. The Red Sox have owned the Yankees this year. Ironically, I think are neck and neck with each other. And I did see, how about this, guys? If the postseason were to start today, which obviously it doesn't, the Red Sox and Yankees would play in the first round of the wild card.
Awesome.
Sign me up for that. Don't
sign Paul up for that.
No Yankee fans wants that right now. No.
Oh, I know. And that's why I want it, because I want the Yankees out of the postseason. The only person I am rooting for on the New York Yankees is Maximus Fried, because obviously he spent his entire career in Atlanta.
Hey, Paul, earlier this year, I kind of made fun of Cody for saying Cal Raleigh was the MVP over Aaron Judge, and I think he got us.
I object strenuously. Cal Raleigh is now hitting 240. The league average is 242, which is low, but he's below the average. I know apparently batting average doesn't mean anything to anybody.
No, it doesn't.
But it ought to. And 50 home runs does not compensate for a 240 batting average. I'm sorry.
A catcher batting 240 is not bad, though.
Not MVP material when there's somebody whose OPS is over 1,000 and has 40 home runs and is batting .324.
It's the best season we've ever seen by a major league catcher, though.
Offensively. You need to say that.
Yes. And what I'll say about that batting average thing, Paul, I agree with you. I'm more of an old-fashioned baseball fan, despite my young age. But Kyle Schwarber is going to win the National League MVP in batting basically league average 250.
That was going to be my next question. Does that mean Kyle Schwarber can't be MVP?
Absolutely. Kyle Schwarber, and I texted you guys this too, sealed the National League MVP when he had 4 home runs against the Braves AA pitching staff.
A rough year for Braves pitching, man. I don't think we've seen much like it through the history.
Well, and the sad part is, I guess I can tie this into my Braves rant, Chris Sale came back and looked like Chris Sale. The one problem, the Braves, as it has been the entire year, in this past series against the Phillies, Braves didn't score. Like, Chris Sale struck out 9 over 6 innings. Looked like Chris Sale. The Braves offense has not done a darn thing to help him out.
All right, Paul, Schwarber or Ohtani is MVP of the National League?
Your argument about Schwarber is that he's not competing with somebody who's hitting 325 and also hitting for power as well. So just...
Okay, I get you. Fair. I understand what you're saying. Kyle Schwarber's value this year could not be undersold to that team.
If I could make any change in baseball, I would go back to the MVP and call it something else, because everybody,
most outstanding player,
including both of you two, get wrapped around this word value. The Mariners don't make the playoffs.
It's the name of the award, Paul.
I understand that, but it's such a subjective thing.
Raleigh's not on that team. The Mariners.
That's why Andre Dawson being an MVP for a last place team was a joke, because his value meant diddly squat.
I disagree.
Most outstanding
completely.
player would be better, and then there would be no doubt who that would be.
You and I agree on almost everything except for that. I think we're just going to have to disagree.
Take Cal Raleigh off the Mariners, and I don't even think they're 500.
Shaking your head is not worthy of a podcast, Paul. You got to actually say worse.
So if you play for a mediocre team and you're either penalized or you're rewarded depending on whether the team makes the postseason or not. Then it depends on the pitching staff. You might as well say
Yes, it depends on who adds the most value to their team that actually accomplishes something. To me, was Andre Dawson the MVP when they finished in last place? Would you have voted him the MVP?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Because
so his value is so valuable that they finished in last place.
He was the best player.
That's not what the award is.
So now it's a consolation prize.
I disagree with Cody there. It's not based on who deserves or who's not going to be in contention again. I know.
Or maybe we should call it the most surprising player of the league.
Well, that would be no doubt Cal Raleigh.
Well, yes, but that's what you guys seem to be arguing. Like Cal Raleigh, wow, who could expect it? Plus, he's a catcher.
Yeah, does that not matter?
No.
He's in on every single play. It doesn't matter?
No.
The center fielder is in on 1 out of every 40 plays, whereas the catcher is in on every single pitch. Doesn't matter to your value to the team?
No. You play the position. You play the position you play, and no. I mean, it's good for the team.
The one thing that I will, and I know he hasn't done it like a bulk of the year, but this Aaron Judge, a designated hitter, he's not even in the field anymore.
If you designated hit more than 5 games, you should be automatically eliminated from the MVP vote. Eliminated. And the Hall of Fame, by the way, Harold Baines. Can't play in the not play defense and be in the freaking Hall of Fame. It makes no sense.
I'm not going to go that far, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Greg.
You may have had an argument when the National League did not have a designated hitter, but
they shouldn't.
I'm saying if you don't play in the field, you are not as valuable as someone who plays in the field. I'm sorry, it's not even close.
There's that word again.
You're not as outstanding as someone who plays in the field. How about that? Cal Raleigh makes a positive impact on defense. Aaron Judge is a good defensive player. The defense makes no difference whether Aaron Judge is in the game. The outfielders mean almost nothing almost all the time. They're all about the same in Major League Baseball. There are a few, don't get me wrong, who make an impact defensively in the outfield. Not very many. Every catcher matters when they play day to day. Everyone. If you don't have a good one, you got to get a new one. That's my argument. Let's move on then. Do we know who the Cy Young Award winners are? Because I don't believe it's Paul Skeens anymore, is it?
The American League, we know. And I would argue that Scooble has an argument for the MVP. I'll say that, too. Right. I know there's the topic of should pitchers win.
Let's not go to the... let's not even go there.
Because he's going to win the Cy Young, so...
Yes. They have their own award.
Well, who's the most valuable pitcher? Because Paul Skeens is... Oh, that's not what we call it.
Good point. Good point.
I don't the National
Paul, they were doing this 100 years before even you were born, so this isn't on us.
When Andre Dawson got it, it was just because it was a last place team. That was in fact, that added to this whole valuable debate kind of thing. Okay, right. So Skeens and Scooble get my vote.
So the both favorites coming into the season, it seems. But Will Rutherford made the point this week that Christopher Sanchez has been the best pitcher in the National League this year, and I think he might be right.
You can't go wrong with him. I don't think he's got the numbers that compete with Skeens. But I wouldn't argue Christopher Sanchez. He's exploded onto the scene.
Paul, I think you would make the argument that Christopher Sanchez has been more valuable this year than Hawkins. So we could go either way on that. Oh, and don't even get me started on Hall of Fame voting. Oh, ugh. I don't even want. This is why we love to debate baseball. It's one of the, honestly, they screwed everything up the way they did things. You talk about MVP being the award, but it just makes for better conversations, doesn't it? We've been doing this.
It does
You and
keep
I
the
have been doing this
conversation
since
going.
1979. Thank you so much, Codey and Paul, for joining me. Always a lot of fun. It's about to get even more fun when we move the podcast into the postseason, and we react almost every single night to what's going on in the playoffs. Looking so forward to that. And thank you so much for listening. Do us a huge favor and share this podcast with a baseball fan in your life, and help spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here talking about the sports Central Indiana sports fans are talking about every single day.
The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.